All right, it's been like forever since we did a live stream. I don't know how well this quality is going to be. I had even forgotten how to do a live stream and was having a lot of technical difficulties. Also, my battery's almost out. But for those of you who are observant, you'll notice we are out here with Casper, the friendly host, out at Ron John's in Cocoa Beach. I am at this parking lot where I used to pseudo live when I was living in a van because it has free showers. You got free showers. You got the beach for sunrise. Was perfect. There's even a little sign there on the shower pointing to the beach. Hey, Herbert, good to see you on here. I'm back at my old I'd say my old campground at Ron John's over in Cocoa Beach. As you can see, the sun is setting. My battery's running out. Yeah, I'm in the parking lot. This is where I used to live, sort of, because it had, sunrise. I could go over to the beach, and the Cocoa Beach Pier is right over that way over there. Took some of those pictures, did some of those talking head videos, and showered here in the morning for free, which you could still do, but it is starting to get a little chilly. It was like 85, 87 degrees this morning, but now it's dropping down to like the 60s, maybe the 50s tonight. I don't know, but I'm actually cold. Anyhow, I'm here to meet somebody, but want to do a live stream real quick just to test out my live capabilities, because I'm hoping to start the Living in a Van channel back up as I work on Casper the Friendly Host. By the way, Tim, thanks for the tip on removing this thing. I haven't gotten around to it, and I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, because, I can just set it aside here, and it seems to be out of the way. Then I don't have to rip everything apart, because the test fitting is still going on. And as you can see, I have stripped parts of the Vibe, the cabinet stuff that were put into the Vibe into this van. Believe it or not, I actually bought all new cabinets, all new plastic drawers that are going to become like cabinets for here. But they were like 20 bucks each, and they were the nice kind that had the lattice work on it and were opaque, so you couldn't see through them. But then I decided, you know what, I'll just go ahead and recycle and save some money. Saved me about 40 bucks. Several interesting things that I noted about this build. Even though this is the newer Grand Caravan, it is a 2010 model. The old one, I think, was a 2000. One was a 2004, and one was a 2005. On the Grand Caravan, Little Blue 1 and 2. One was Town and Country. Those older models actually had more room. Yeah, this model has storage underneath the floor here, which you can use, which I will use some of it maybe as a battery compartment. But on the interior side, just some stuff I wanted to point out. So if you're looking for a conversion and you want to do like a lot of drawer space, I think that you may be better off with the older style Town and Country or Grand Caravan. The kind before they went to this new body style. So the new body style, it looks bigger. And I guess in some ways it is bigger, but for a van build out, if you're wanting drawers and stuff on top instead of under the floor, what you can see here is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you recall, Little Blue had Little Blue had not just 2 drawers, had like four full-size drawers right up there. So this one only has enough space to support 2, and the reason is this window area is shorter. So on the newer van, the window is shorter than the older style. So that means you're limited to like just putting 2 drawers up there. The other thing about the build out that I noticed, that I guess the previous Blue must have had a higher deck. I might have built the deck up higher because I had 2 storage cases, not 1. I don't know how that worked out, but in this case, I only have room for like one drawer, not 2. So it's like I lost a bunch of drawers on this new build out. But surprisingly, the size, the way things are working, It works perfectly for a mini suitcase, you know, for like a weekend getaway. So we can put the suitcase with clothes in it or whatever to, you know, if you're going to a hotel or something. And also there's like a little drawer under there that can go under there, and some more storage that I need to still figure out. On the front side, several things to note. The floor is definitely not even on these new models. You can see I don't know if you can see how well it is, but there is a slope. So there's like a gap underneath here. See, I can stick my hand all the way through. So it's like a triangle. So you got that space right there, which I'm not going to worry about because I didn't put a floor to level it. But if you level your floor, you're going to lose about 2 inches. Up to 2, maybe 3 inches to try to level your floor. Now with me, I'm not leveling it because I'm leaving the van pretty much like a regular vehicle. You can see here, I can put the seat up if I can do this with one hand. So the van can function. This is the normal configuration. It's going to function as a regular van pretty much. It's going to have room for 2 people up front, 2 people in the back, and then you're going to have a cargo area here. See, this is a flat ledge area here where the bed is, that you could sort of just shove the bed and put your groceries or whatever here. So it's going to function in normal mode like this, although when I'm traveling, the bed will be down. So it's basically little blue design, but honestly, I think it has overall less storage than the original little blue, believe it or not. But there might be more sitting room when you sit up, because there's actually I think I gave myself an additional 4 inches or so of vertical space for sitting. And I'm hoping that this is enough storage. I've got all the space under here, you know, and I could try to make drawers and slide outs and stuff, but I'm just thinking it might be better to just leave an open space. And that way, you know, when it's functioning as a van, I can still transport cargo. Like if I remove all this stuff, I can kind of shove things in. Like you can see, it's still got the 2x2s, you know, for part of the construction. I'm going to be returning all extra materials. Build-wise, I didn't have to buy too much wood. I think originally I spent $200 on wood and parts, but I think when I return everything, my total fee for the wood was probably going to be about $140 or less. So about $140 in wood and screws and stuff, and you can have a fairly functional layout. I was originally going to you know, like use L brackets to hold the legs and stuff stable, but once everything got put together, you can see, and this isn't fully configured, it's no longer shaking. So I think I don't need reinforcements. I think this will hold. And not only that, without putting L brackets, I'm not putting new holes into the car. I'm trying not to put holes there unless I have to. And also, when I go to remove it, I can just pull it out. The only part that's kind of screwed in is, you know, it is connected here to this piece, which goes to the window ledge there, so that it has a support for the drawers. So that has to be unscrewed, but we're talking like maybe a minute or two. And then, you know, this assembly of the whole unit should take less than 10-15 minutes, and it shouldn't be too difficult. The only issue might be that this part might be a little heavy. And I don't know, I did actually screw this in, so that might make it a little bit more complicated. It might get a little heavy. I'm debating whether or not I want to cut this in half, like right along here. But then, you know, it becomes flimsy again, potentially. If I cut it in half, then it makes it lighter. So this assembly can be done by a single person just by quickly lifting it up. But you can see there's a flap there. See how it has that little edge there? Because that side flips over for the bed conversion. So this is like the spare wood that I still have left, which when I was looking at, oh man, this camera's having a hard time focusing because there's actually less light here than it looks like on the video. When I was looking at storage, you know, for like clothing and stuff like that for traveling, because it's supposed to This time blue is supposed, not blue, Casper. I keep saying blue, I'm so used to little blue. It's supposed to support 2 people. And I'm trying to make it so that we can carry pretty much everything we need while we're traveling for 2. So in bed mode, which you can see the portable toilet and a little cooler here. But anyhow, I'm gonna try to show you something. When the bed goes down, if I wanted to, okay, so the bed goes down, get locked. Anyhow, I'm not gonna do a real good job. It's getting caught on here. There's like a little ledge it's getting caught on. I might have to set this down for a second. There's like a little warpage right there. I don't know if that's a warpage or the design feature. It looks like it sticks out a little bit. So it's getting caught there. But you can see this flips over and becomes flat so that, you know, the bed can, the bed mattress, which this is the mattress that I had cut down from blue to fit the vibe. But now it's too narrow for 2 people. It's the size of a sleeping bag. But I'm going to be ordering a twin size, which is about 39 inches wide, futon mattress. And that's what I'm going to use for the bed, because it will be wide enough to fit the space, which is approximately 39-40 inches wide, which is a size of a twin. And then, oh man, I got it upside down, no wonder. Trying to do everything with one hand and live, but basically this flips over, this comes out. You can see the bed in real life, if I was doing it without filming, would not take this long to set up. It would only take like 1 minute. But so it's gonna have a foldable futon mattress that goes across, twin size, and that should hold 2 people. And most of the time when I'm traveling, it's going to be left in that mode. I don't know if you guys recall in my old videos, I talked about people who do all these real elaborate conversions where the car transforms and stuff. You know, you got the living room, becomes a bed. The reality is if you're living in the vehicle, that becomes a pain in the ass. Switching different modes, especially if you're sleeping every night. What I found, you know, the original conversion had a office mode, had a bed mode, had all these different modes. What I found was that if I needed an office, it was easier to just go into a public library and get a real chair. You know, and here where I live, the library had a nice view of the ocean, well, the river with the birds and the boats and all that stuff. And it was air conditioned and had Wi-Fi. It was just a lot more comfortable to use a library study room as an office than to try to work out of this little space and then to have to flip it back and forth. So, you know, in Little Blue, I found that when I was living in it full time, I pretty much left the car in bed mode. I never converted it back to like office mode. I only did it when I made the YouTube videos show what could be done. But the reality was when living in it, it was in bed mode. And it stayed in bed mode. So the design is that for this one, I'm not so sure I need to make this converted into a little living room space. I think bed space for sleeping. So when you're ready to sleep, you just sleep. you don't have to flip anything. You don't have to do anything. But what I wanted to show is that little spot right there. Sorry for all this back and forth walking. We are live. So, but you'll see that there's like a little ledge here that I made with the wood. What you could do, or what I could do, is take another board and go across and then level it off over here somehow. And then I have a ledge here that can fit 2 or 2.5 of these cabinets. So if I wanted to, I could install like 4 to 4.5 cabinets for storage here, for clothes and other stuff. Because in bed mode, you know, you wouldn't be flipping it back and forth. The problem with that is then you lose access to this little drawer and this little storage underneath. So, you know, all the stuff is here is just old junk. I haven't really fully configured everything. This isn't even being, it's just being held on with friction. It's not even mounted or anything. It's just sitting there by friction holding it up. And this refrigerator never got used. I don't know how useful it's actually going to be. Look at the size. My hand in there for comparison. I think it'll hold 1 or 2 cans of soda. Maybe you can fit 2 or 3. I don't know. If you go stack them, I'd have to try it out. But it looks like it really won't hold that much. Just put it here for looks for now. But potentially I could use it, and run it as a cooler just to always have cold drinks. But that's pretty much the conversion. Now, as far as the power systems, I am not going to use solar because I'm not living full time. And even if I were, what I found was charging through the alternator worked, well enough. So what I'm going to do is underneath here, where this pops up, that's going to be where I store my battery. I'm probably only going to have 1 battery, possibly 2, but more than likely only 1, because this is not a full-time vehicle. The reason for that, having that 1 battery, and I'm not going to use anything expensive. As a matter of fact, I'm using the old one that's still in the Pontiac Vibe, which isn't even 100% anymore. But I'm going to use that so that I can run the rice cooker. Because the rice cooker, when it's running, will pull 300 watts. And you kind of need 2 batteries for that. And probably need to have the car running so that the batteries are constantly charging while the power is being pulled. Now, we found when we were testing Little Blue that with 2 batteries and it was like a 280 watt solar panel, I could cook without running the engine. So if you're full time, it might be worth installing like a 280, 300 watt solar panel on the roof. But for me, I'm planning on cooking while I'm driving somewhere, just like I did in Little Blue. So the car's already running. I'm getting free energy to cook. And when I get to my destination, the food's done. So it's going to run a rice cooker. And the main kitchen will be like Little Blue, probably right up here up front. So you can monitor the food while you're cooking and driving. It'll be done when you get to your destination. Just really simple. It's basically almost like, how people say like minimalistic living. People like living minimalistically. And living in a van is pretty minimalistic. This is even more minimalistic than what Little Blue was. Because Little Blue had a lot of extra stuff that ended up not being used. So most of the cooking will be done through electricity running off an inverter. You only need 300 watts to run the rice cooker, and that's enough. We know that's enough to cook rice. It's enough to cook meat. It's enough to cook ribs and steak. It's enough to cook everything. So, everything that I eat at least, and even make popcorn. Remember that? So a 300 watt rice cooker is more than adequate, especially for 2 people. And because this is not a full-time vehicle, most of the time we're just going to be cooking rice and probably picking up like rotisserie chicken from Walmart or some other meat. And if we have to cook meat, I can cook steaks or ribs while driving. I just have to have 2 rice cooker bowls, So even though one rice cooker only comes with 1 inner bowl, cooking bowl, I have 2 rice cookers. I have a spare one. So you can cook off 2 of those. And as far as refrigeration and stuff for food, because this is not a full-time vehicle and I'm not full-time living, I'm going to go really simple. I'm just going to have an ice chest. You can see here there was a cheap little one that totally styrofoam. That's the normal one I'll carry. But if we're taking like a road trip where we expect to be on the road for a week or more, probably want to get a larger ice chest. And I think I already have one. It's a cooler. And you can see this space right here with the chair down like this would be a perfect spot for a cooler. So